There come a time where the Spirit that was leading the lamb, the dove,
there had to be a conference between the lamb and the dove. And they formed a place to sit it. After the supper that night, they crossed over a little brook, Cedrith, or somewhere, and went across the brook and went into a garden called Gethsemane. They had to have a conference. God and Christ had to talk it over. The lamb and the dove had to sit together. It was the dove that had to talk to the lamb, and it was the lamb's death. Now when they sat by that rock, all the angels come down from heaven to listen into this conference. Oh, there was Gabriel, Michael, Woodworm, all the thousands of them sitting around the rock. He said to his disciples, wearied. They'd had lots of big meetings, was tired perhaps like you are this morning. But he said, will you just watch with me an hour? For I've got to go yonder and have a conference. I have to go alone. And when the conference was set, and the lamb, young, a beautiful life, never a life like that. Never was, never will be. A life like that the lamb had. But now the Father said, are you willing? Is your love for your brethren great enough? Is your love for that sinful, stinking world that you were born in? Do you love them enough to forfeit your life? Do you love them enough to take their place, to bear their sins to the hardest, crucial death? There could be nothing die that kind of death but Him. And in that conference, such a decision was made until blood dropped from His brow. He was under a strain. The sins of the world was upon Him. And then He looked into the face of the dove and said, not my will, but Thy will be done. Oh, can we have that decision in our hearts this morning? Can you forfeit that little filthy life of yours? Are you willing to look into His face and say, not my will,